Welcome to Roll for Crit. It is so hot outside, we are literally on fire. But we're not going to let that stop us from bringing you the weekly board game releases for July 22nd, 2019. Alien Artifacts is getting its second small expansion this week called Breakthrough. It's 40 cards or so. This one focuses on technology. So you've got some new tech cards, some new ships to add into your regular game and mix things up, provide some new combos for you. Atelier, the Painter's Studio, is a new one from AEG. Players are creating beautiful Renaissance-era paintings. You are rolling dice and sending those dice out to try to get different colors to create masterpieces. Z-Man Games has their second choose-your-own-adventure game. This one is War with the Evil Power Master. It takes place in space this time. You have a map, and as players, you are traveling to different planets. You get to choose, in some senses, where you go to as the game goes on to tell your story, roll some dice, and read some strange, bizarre cards. Copenhagen is also releasing this week. This is from Queen Games, and it involves players building up beautiful buildings in the city of Copenhagen with the use of polyominoes that are in limited supply. So you've got to try to get the shapes that you need before the other players do.
Flying Frog Games' Forbidden Fortress was a Kickstarter that most backers should have received by now, but only recently have we been seeing retail releases crop up. Speaking of which, Shadow of Brimstone, Temple of Shadows Deluxe expansion is now out. This, as I said, is for Forbidden Fortress, which is a feudal Japan theme instead of the Western theme. It adds 4 more heroes, 4 more villains, and of course, some more tiles. Tiny Epic Games has now released Tiny Epic Mechs. If you haven't guessed, this is mech involved and is another addition to the Tiny Epic series. We've also got Villagers. This game actually will have you take on the role of a village leader right after a huge plague epidemic in which pretty much your entire village is wiped out. So now you need to hire the right people who of course also need the requirements of different other villagers. So it's all about trying to find the right assortment of villagers to help your own town survive and thrive. But of course you can also play solo against a very evil ruler. We've also got the Versus System Hammer. This is actually the last in the trilogy for the Children of Atom expansion, which involved the X-Men. Finally, we're going to finish off with some LCG packs, of course all from Fantasy Flight. We've got a Game of Thrones Beneath the Red Keep Chapter Pack and Legend of the Five Rings Bonds of Blood Dynasty Pack. Those are releases. Most of them are expansions things, but there were a couple things that are standalone. In particular, I know for me, Villagers was the thing that caught my eye. Mostly because it was not from a big publisher that we're used to, so that alone intrigues me. And I'm curious to see how they interact. Like this card needs this one, but it also do this one. Sort of like it makes you think of Legend of Zelda, those very long chores. So you have to like bring the eye drops to this person to get the deck to this person.
yeah, those little puzzle chains. Yeah, that one seemed interesting. I wasn't on my radar too much, but it seems like it has some good buzz behind it.
I'm curious on your thoughts though of the AEG release, the painting one, because they released it about just a week or two before Gen Con, and at first I'm like, oh, why would you release it before? But I'm thinking about like, oh, maybe if a few people play it and make some hype, then everyone visits your booth at Gen Con. I was wondering if you think that's actually the strategy behind it.
I wonder, maybe they don't, this way people aren't rushing their booth as much because it doesn't seem like as much of they don't have to worry about stock going out, but maybe that's what you want if you're a company. I don't know what the desire is, but could be just a random, this is when it was done, so we're selling it, But I mean, I guess it's still like probably most people will be seeing it for the first time at Gen Con. So
right, but I mean,
you kind of get both.
Because it released early, maybe there's some, mostly I'm sure Board Game Geek, other places, but like forum posts talking about. So maybe that when usually people might not put on their list and not have to hope that they see it, this time they're like, oh, I heard about this, so I will definitely check out the AEG booth.
Yeah, if they're confident that it's good, then that should work out. Otherwise, it could backfire for some games. Choose Your Own Adventure sounds really interesting. We had fun playing the first one, but from what the sounds of it, what I've heard about this one is that it's much more. The first game was like 5 chapters you played in order.
Right.
Sounds like this one is more like you kind of play a complete game each time, but you can choose different paths, so it's always
a bit more
different
exploratory.
Ending. Yeah, so you'll want to play it more than once as opposed to just like we did it, it's finished now. So that's kind of cool.
And this was based on an actual Choose Your Own.
Yep, another book. I think by the same author. No, I don't remember. The only ones I read a few, and I don't know if they were later ones.
The only Choose Adventures I remember were the Goosebump ones.
They should adapt those next. Yeah, that would be a good one. Plenty of cool cool stuff on here. Some, and expansions like we said, Shadows of Brimstone and Alien Artifacts, both games that could stand to be played more by us, or in some cases for me at all. Let us know in the comments, what are you looking forward to? What are you picking up? Or once again, are you still saving your money for Gen Con? Maybe you're getting Atelier to get in before the hype. I don't know. Let us know. And of course, stay tuned, because if you want to hear about new releases, Gen Con is only about a week away now, maybe a couple weeks before you start seeing videos. Yeah, so we're going to have a preview for that, and you're going to see lots of new stuff. Talk to us in the comments, or you can subscribe and like us and follow us on social media, all that kind of stuff as well.
But until then, I'm Will.
I'm Jonathan.
And this has been Roll for Crit.
We want you to like and subscribe, and if you have the chance, take a look at our Patreon.
Stay tuned to our channel for tons more tabletop gaming content. You don't want to miss it.